I'm having the time of my life. Literally, I'm like, this is so fun. A lot of the things that I had said I wanted to happen were starting to happen. And I realized that things in motion stay in motion. So we want to keep going and riding that momentum too. So.
I do want to thank you for your time, man.
Thank
I
you.
know you're super busy, and I just got questions for you because what I want to say before we can get started is sometimes you get to meet people, you get to interview people, and you respect what they do. You respect their music,
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're just a fan, and I'm just an outright fan.
Really?
Like, oh, come on, fam.
Thank
I'm
you.
one of those people. Like, I don't know how much you get online, but do you ever see the people championing for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like one of
You're
those
one of
people.
those?
Yeah, like when MTV was tripping, I was like, yo. MTV's tripping, and then what we need to do, and then you got all the Grammys, and then me and Black Twitter, we felt validated. So I just want you to know.
I love that. You and Black Twitter. Thank you so much.
I'm like I got like a card. I'm like a Black Twitter CEO. I'm in there official.
That.
Yeah. So congratulations, because
thank you so much.
All your recent success, as we've gotten to watch it, it seems so well deserved, and you have this thing where. Everything seems so genuine with you. Mm-hmm. And what is your relationship with the people that have been championing you from the jump and who feel validated through your recent success?
You know, it makes me not want to let them down because I know that they've been talking to so many people about me, putting people on. A lot of times when I meet people, they're like, oh, I played my boyfriend your music and he loved it. Like, I introduced my friend to your music. So people are proud to show me off. Mm-hmm. And so it's like we were talking about food earlier. If you tell someone that there's a good restaurant and you take them, and when you take them, the food is bad, you're like, dang, it used to be good though. Like, you know, you want to be validated by that cosign. So I feel like that I want to maintain their proudness. Like, I want to keep striving for them. It's for me also because I have goals and it's my dream, but also I keep them in mind. Like, I want to make sure that the taste in their mouth is still amazing. You know, when they bring other people to me and just keep the morale up, keep the camaraderie up, the team effort, like everything that they feel when they talk about me, I just want to keep that essence.
Let me just say this. You don't owe us nothing.
Oh,
just live your best life. But I do want to talk about that. Like, what's the last, because we're going to talk about a new song. We are going to talk about, we're going to get there.
Okay.
But trust me, because I love it. But what's it been like for you the last few years for someone who, you know, you've been in this industry for a while.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've had success. And when, for whatever reason, when On My Mama drops, it goes to a whole different level.
Yeah.
I know we're removed from that a little bit, but what was that like when you're like, okay, this is different now?
Yeah, I'm having the time of my life. Literally, I'm like, this is so fun. This is so cool. Like, grateful for everything. A lot of the things that I had said I wanted to happen were starting to happen. And at some points, I would even forget that I had written it down. But, you know, looking at my goals list back in the day, I'm like, oh my God, like, it actually is happening for me. So it's a balance of trying to stay present and enjoy what I manifested with my team and my fans, but also like still be eager and hungry to do more. You know what I mean? So like not feeling stagnant, like, you know, here it is, I made it, and stopping, because I realize that things in motion stay in motion. So we want to keep going and riding that momentum too. So that's been the dance for me, is like making sure that I'm celebrating the wins, but also like goal oriented still, and like pushing past things, you know.
But that's hard, and people don't realize it because you don't realize you've achieved your goals.
Yeah, you're just in it.
Because what ends up happening is human nature. You get more goals, and there's
it's a
it
long,
moves a little bit,
bottomless list.
So how important is it for you to write that down and do exactly what you said, to enjoy the ride? Because especially in this industry, there's always this greatness you want to get to, and you got to realize you're not a failure if you don't end up being Elton John or something.
Right. And you look across at your peers and realize that like you're enjoying the process too. So that's an important step, is like, though you have end goals that by the time you get to that ending, they won't be your end goals. You're going to want something else. But just being able to enjoy the process, looking across at people, looking next to you, and having people around you that you really want to be around, making sure you're staying true to yourself, not saying yes to things you don't want to do. Because I think at some point you get asked to do a lot of things, And so what helps you maintain the happiness is really just aligning with what feels good to you, what frequency you want to be vibrating on, and like just making sure that the yeses are true, genuine ones, and that way you can show up as your authentic self and be genuine and be happy to do things. So it's definitely like a balancing act. I have my days, like everybody does, but it feels really good though.
What are some of those goals that you have achieved that you look back? Because I'm pretty sure at some point you might have looked at the list. You're like, oh, I did that. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
What are some
Well,
of those?
definitely the Grammys. 100%.
Hold on. Everybody, because I'm telling you, not only when you got those knobs, look, you can look up my name and my Twitter because I got like 1 million Victoria Monét positive tweets.
I love that.
So when you did get those Grammys, it was one of those things that everybody was like, whoa, especially considering, everything you've been through with your career from writing and everything else. So Grammys and what I'm looking for the tweets, but Grammys and what else?
So this year I also was actually able to do a song for TV and film. I did a song for the ending credits of Acolyte, which is the first time Star Wars ever did an original song with a vocalist. So I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible.
I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I appreciate that
Are
too.
you?
Yeah, I got lightsabers in like my office.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I'm not a Star Wars girly. Like I never watched the full movies and but I understand how important the world is, and to be able to do it with D-Mile meant a lot to me. And there was a Black lead in the movie, Amanda, so like it just felt really good to be a part of. Definitely BET Awards.
Yo, we got to talk about that too. What was that like, that experience doing the BET Awards? Because you were part of that whole Usher tribute.
Yeah.
And it was basically a who's who of current R&B right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
It's really special. I actually took the BET Awards really, really seriously, which just hearing from working with different people who've done BET before, I guess it's not normal. Because I started planning things maybe like a month and some change before the BET Awards, like talking about the plot and lighting and budget and like making sure my performance felt like what it felt like, and rehearsing it for 2 weeks straight and in the wardrobe. So my days leading up to BET Awards, because I had my own rehearsals plus Usher tribute rehearsals, were like 16-hour days. Like we were in it. And I had an amazing cast of all of these like iconic dance artists that were down to do the show with me. And I pulled in Aisha Francis for Usher tribute along with Sean Bankhead. And it was like, there were so many layers to the performances for me. One really big one was like the wardrobe changes that we did, like within 4 minutes, there was like 3 costume changes. So we rehearsed that down. Being able to, on the last day of Pride, do a tribute with a woman was fire. And I'm so glad BET allowed that to happen too, so our community can be seen. And then the fact that it's an Usher tribute and something that I watched growing up, like that Beyonce and Beyonce did. So just like, it blew my mind, really. And then on top of that, the awards that I received, it was just like such a special, really month leading up to it, and day for me.
I think that's what people connect to about you, is you could tell that you took the craft so serious, because it's not just in the 16-hour days for the BET Awards. It's the videos, and it's the dancing, and it's the glam, and you really harken back to like an era where R&B is just different now. And I'm not one of those people that go, oh man, it was way better back in the day.
Right,
but
yeah.
it is good to see somebody that was a student of, and I'm assuming here, Janet Jackson's and
For
assuming
sure.
the Beyonce's, and when you get the cool videos, you're like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I like that. And even in when you wearing the Maya jersey dress?
The jersey dress, yeah.
Yeah, like
shout
even
out to Maya for inspiration. Like I really like just honoring my idols and people who I really admired and looked up to, as it's also like a dream of mine. Like now that I'm in the position to be able to make cool videos, I'm like, oh, how about this style that I saw growing up, just to experience it and add something new to that.
And R&B's in a good place, man. People always want to like write it off, man. But there's artists like you and Summer Walker's, and I'm a Lucky Day fan.
100%. Leon Thomas. Yeah. There's so many really great R&B artists, and I know that maybe people had a different idea of what R&B should sound like, but music always merges and changes, and I think there's a lot of different genres within R&B right now, which is also really cool, because I think popular music is a lot of times R&B based too. Like even you think about hip hop.
It is. It's all American music started with like rock and roll, which was black music, which was gospel music, which turned into R&B.
The chords.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice to be able to speak the language because I think the world loves R&B. Maybe America has its own idea of what it should sound like, but like Asia loves R&B. Europe, I feel like the world just really appreciates it. I know Brazil, like Africa, everywhere. You know, it's like there's a love for it, and it feels so warm. So I'm excited to be an R&B girly.
Oh, you know what I just want to talk about too for you? Because you have like this nice demeanor, right? You have this aura, this energy, and everything comes across like so joyful. And
I
look
could
at her,
be mean.
like I'm gonna get there. You be talking wild on records, right? so like stop asking me for shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those records where even like as you're saying it, it's not processing for people like what you're saying in the song. So and we're gonna go there. I've never heard someone sing so sweetly. That's just like when you write these records, what's going through, and are you aware of the fact that people aren't always catching the full context of what you're saying in the way that you're singing it, in the way that the music is presented?
I'm definitely aware people aren't catching it because like fans on Twitter will be like, oh, my grandma loves your music. I'm like, I'm sure. She has no idea what I'm saying. She loves the music. She loves the horns. She loves the melody, but she's not picking up what I'm putting down. So please don't let her listen too much. But I do like operate in a alter ego space in music. Like, for example, my record, All Right, when I wrote it, I very much was not in the club single at the time. It's just kind of like something that I can imagine. I was like not far off postpartum, a little bit like out of my body because there were so many changes. So I kind of use music as like a portal to be elsewhere. But I do speak like this with my friends too. So it's just my tone of voice is softer. So I wouldn't go to like the grocery store and be like, thanks, but like my friends, when we're being silly and stuff, the language still does come out. So it's not foreign for me to speak like this. It's just maybe in normal settings, I wouldn't.
No, I enjoy it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But you also, something else I want to touch on, you talk about postpartum, is you started reaching like the height of your fame being a new mom.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
I was actually really pleasantly surprised because I definitely got pregnant in the pandemic, which in addition to like the normal concerns that come along with motherhood and becoming pregnant, the world was having issues that we didn't know what music looked like or live performance looked like or streaming, like how to promote music in the different ways or do photo shoots, like all the things that help you promote music kind of weren't available. So I think, and then the actual danger of like getting sick. So I'm like incubated and protective and all of the appointments were by myself. But so to give birth and then after that write one of my favorite songs, it's just like
beautiful
God
song.
really, thank you. Thank you so much. Just God was really like, you don't know much. Just follow me. I got it. You know what I mean? Just lean on your passions, like do what your heart says to do and don't worry about everything else. I'm going to orchestrate it so it works out. And I think that's what's happening.
And you also gave birth to like one of the cutest babies ever.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that helps.
Thank you so much. You know what? I was a little bit scared when she came out, though. Her head was like, because I was in labor for 2.5 days, so her head was like in a cone. Yes. And then an emergency C-section, ladies. You understand? But her head was like this. I was like, oh, God.
Did you do the thing like back in the day where they would like mold the head?
They put a beanie on her. They put a beanie on her, so I smooth forgot. Like, I was just like, oh, but like in the beanie, there was so much head in there. But she's very, very beautiful and so, so smart. And yeah, my bestie.
All right, so let's do this. I've been talking to you about everything else except the song.
Okay.
So we're finally going to talk about SOS. Okay. My apologies.
No, please.
And I saw you went on IG.
Yeah.
And you teased it, like gave people a few seconds, but you also were like, hey, what does this stand for? Y'all gonna have to guess. How many people, did you see any people that got it right?
Nobody got it right.
Nobody got it right.
Not one person got it right, but I got some good funny titles. Like someone was like Stuck on Stupid. Someone was like Someone. I forget what the other S was, but it was there was like a lot of really good ones.
You know how I like keeping my job? Because I was actually in the comments because I know what it stands for. And I was like, I ain't going to say nothing.
I ain't gonna say Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about that track.
Yes.
Yet again, you were at the BET Awards. You did a tribute for Usher. You have this song with Usher, SOS, which stands for?
Sex on Sight.
Hey. Some of that more wild stuff you be singing about.
Right.
Talk about putting that song together and then getting the legend himself, Super Bowl performer, Usher.
Crazy. So Quiet as Kept, we have another song
Oh.
together.
Okay. Where we gonna get this song?
You know, it's coming in the future. Right. I don't know when, but there's another song. So we were working together on that song. So he came by the studio to work more on that. And when he got there, I was working on SOS, but I just had the hook only. So he was like, let me hear what you're working on. I was like, okay, nervous. So I play it. And then after the hook goes off, he starts mumbling a melody. I was like, and me and DJ Camper, the producer, looked at each other and we were like, I think, do you want to just go in? Like maybe just try some stuff? So he goes in the booth and like starts this rap part. And then he comes out and we write a few lyrics to that. And then he has to go. He's like jet setting somewhere else. And then he finishes his parts in Atlanta. We decide we were like at one point, do we do both of these songs or do we have to choose one? Like, what's the protocol? But it just felt so special and so organic so that we just were like, let's rock with both. Camper got his horn player on it. Mm-hmm. We just did final touches and everything. And here it is. So I'm excited.
Can you rewind a little bit for me because I've had an opportunity to meet Usher a few times. And there's this essence that Usher, like when he walks in the studio, I don't picture Usher just walking. Is he like
He's
floating?
gliding, yes.
Like,
oh my God, you too?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm like, is it the skates?
Yeah.
Does he have Heelys on?
That you don't have to call joints where he just comes in?
Yes. No, literally. It's just very much like legend walking in. Like, I feel that.
What's that like for you? Because we look at you as, a superstar of music, but there are people that we are all fans of, and we all grew like Usher's at this point where he's an icon. Like we throw the word icon around a lot, but Usher's been doing this for like almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And you grew up in his music. We all listen to Confessions. We all listen to 8701. Just a few of the albums. What's it like when you have these moments where now the people that you looked up to are your peers?
I wouldn't say peer. I'm still like,
y'all wrote a song together, like y'all are peers.
But still, it's like it's just I can't even say that ever. But like I think being around it makes me want to step up. It makes me want to be at my best, and so I like being around people like that because you want, people always are like you're like the combination of the 5 people who are closest to you. So like if you get that energy around you, and if you get people who have a lot of the things that you're aspiring to have, it just makes you elevate. It feels like you're re-inspired in a completely different way. And so when you're around someone like Usher, you want to be at your best. P's and Q's, like be a good artist today, now. So that's what the energy is. And I'm just thankful that he was willing to do not only one, but 2 songs. It means a lot. So especially after the year he's had, he doesn't have to do anything else. So like, it just means so much to extend that help, to another artist. So
yeah, and it's tight because you get it from every direction. Going back to the BET performance, like Beyonce shared the clip of you and Tiana Taylor, and now you know how I walked in and I told you I'm a huge fan of you. There ain't nobody a bigger fan than Beyonce than me.
God.
So what's that? I have so many Beyonce T-shirts. It's bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's that like when you're having all these full circle moments with?
It's unreal. I can't even put my finger on it. If I could like bottle it up, I would, so I could just keep it and drink it every day. But like, I'm just so grateful and inspired by the recognition because there's been so many moments where, all my life has been watching her and learning from her and being inspired by her. It's like, so for her to even know my name, I could cry. Like, what is happening? I spoke to her the day of the Grammys as well. We had a really sweet, short conversation. And she told me she's proud of me, like, at a point, and I'm just like, God is the GOAT. So that's how I feel. She's just my favorite. So I'm obsessed, and I'm so excited to just have her support.
We got these 2 Usher songs, right?
Yes.
One we don't know where it's going to end up. What's up, man? We getting a Jaguar 3. I know we're getting a Reloaded. What's going on?
We are getting a Deluxe.
Okay, so
definitely a Deluxe.
What's the deal with the Deluxe?
So SOS is a part of the Deluxe.
Okay.
And the Deluxe is coming very soon.
We don't got no dates or nothing.
No, not yet.
Are we remixing, remastering? Are we throwing a bunch of new songs?
There's new songs. Okay. It's all new songs. And working on a remix of something.
Okay.
But for now, it's just new ones. It could be considered like an EP because there's at least 5 more songs.
Okay, okay. Well, just leave it at that. Don't get in trouble.
At
She
least, yeah,
keeps
I'm
looking
like,
over like, no, I
is
don't
it
want to get in
okay?
trouble. Like, don't get in trouble. So here's what I'm picking up from you. It seems like you kind of move at your own pace.
Yeah, I mean, Taurus vibes, I guess.
Our birthdays are a day apart.
No, it's May 2nd?
April 30th.
Okay,
April 30th,
okay,
Taurus.
you
I got
first.
you. Yeah.
So at midnight of April 30th, like, we combine. I love that. We have to celebrate.
Like Voltron or like Power Rangers.
Superhero.
You can do the little Dragon Ball Z joint.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
fire, Taurus.
yeah, Taurus gang. So
Love it.
You move at your own pace. Why do you? Because yet again, this music industry makes you churn, do stuff. Like even the All Right video came out. It seemed like late compared to how some people move.
For sure. Because I put the project out last year at around this time, and I didn't put that. And All Right was on it. I didn't put the music video out until I think it was June, May or June this year. So it's definitely a long time in between. But I do feel like, unfortunately, we are forced, or usually try to be forced, to move through our singles really, really fast, because we know that streaming is a business. Attention spans are short. So, you know, the labels and people want us to just like put out product quickly. And for some artists, I think that works. But I also feel like listening to my fans and engaging with them and seeing what they're gravitating towards and being like, okay, well, maybe you guys have chosen this single. Let's put something behind it, put a video into it. I know people's rollouts can last. They used to last a really long time, you know? So I'm trying to give a little bit of that while also still giving new things, which I try to give through my features, like in between. You know, I had something with Bryson. I had something with Meg. In between, I have another feature coming out with an Afrobeats artist soon. So I think that's the way to diversify the music. But when it comes to my project, I put so much into them and thought and like content and planning and creating a world out of it that I just don't want to put it out and then rush to the next thing. So that's just my personal taste. I also admire someone like a SZA who she puts out a really big album and she takes her time making the next one, then she puts out a really big album. But you can tell there was work and effort put into it because she had time to live through what she's writing about, time to change, time to grow. And I think artists should be afforded that opportunity because we aren't machines. If you want quick singles, I'm sure AI will be able to give it to you soon. But as far as me, I'm just going to take my time.
So you remember how I said you be saying like slick stuff on the low that sounds sweet? That was like one of those little slick ones. Like, yeah, y'all can have that little AI.
Yeah, get it from the computer.
Yeah.
You know.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
We are going to be super excited, and we're going to support you when we get the Jaguar II Deluxe.
Hey.
And then if it's in 5 years, when Jaguar III drops.
Oh Lord, no, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. No Jaguar III.
No more. Okay. Look, whatever it is, we'll support. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I know you're fresh off your festival tour.
Yes.
So we're done. Thank you, Victoria Monét.
Thank you so much.